Imagine stepping into a room where every word you speak has the exact weight and power to shift deeply entrenched beliefs, dissolve hostility, and motivate others to take action purely of their own accord. What if I told you that the secret to this level of persuasion has absolutely nothing to do with logic, force, or out-debating your opponent? Most of us operate under the flawed assumption that humans are fundamentally rational creatures who can be swayed by a perfectly constructed argument. But as Bariso reveals through the insights of Chris Voss, a former lead international kidnapping negotiator for the FBI, human decision-making is intrinsically an emotional process. Welcome to a masterclass in the mechanics of human behavior, where we are extracting the high-yield, growth-oriented lessons from Chapter 6 of Justin Bariso's transformative book, EQ Applied, focusing specifically on the power of influence and how emotional connection breaks down barriers. This relies on a hidden psychological architecture that former FBI hostage negotiators used to save lives. Voss notes that the shortest distance between 2 points in human interaction is never a straight line. Instead, it is a calculated progression of steps built on rapport and empathy that positions you to actually change people's minds. Influence, in its purest form, is the act of affecting a person's character or behavior by means entirely other than force or direct command. It requires you to seamlessly weave together self-awareness, self-management, and social awareness to subtly persuade and motivate those around you. To wield this kind of influence, you must abandon the standard tactic of digging in your heels when faced with an opposing viewpoint, as this only triggers a defensive emotional response that pushes both parties further apart. Instead, Bariso introduces a highly actionable framework known as reasoning with empathy, which demands that you reason from the other person's point of view rather than your own. This means actively listening and giving others something to ponder long after the conversation ends, paving the way for future discussions where they might actually consider an alternative perspective. You must always begin by establishing common ground, finding shared values or beliefs to build a foundation of trust before ever introducing a counter-narrative. As Isaac Newton famously said, tact is the knack of making a point without making an enemy, and by identifying both your strengths and the strengths of the people you are dealing with, you elevate the interaction from a battlefield to a collaborative partnership. If you are accustomed to the surface-level history taught in standard curriculums, welcome to a more systemic perspective here at the Bookish Breakdown. This is the kind of rigorous, framework-driven analysis we prioritize here at the Bookish Breakdown, so make sure you subscribe to our channel and join our community of growth-minded learners who refuse to settle for average. Returning to the mechanics of influence, convincing someone of a factual truth is entirely different from actually motivating them to do something about it. To galvanize others to action, you must stir their emotions and penetrate deeply into their feelings. You achieve this by authentically showing passion, because genuine enthusiasm is remarkably contagious and inspires others to follow your lead. Furthermore, Bariso emphasizes the power of repetition, reminding us that the greatest teachers and orators use strategic repetition to keep their listeners engaged and control what they are most likely to remember. You can also employ the element of surprise by using an unorthodox or shocking statement to reel your listener in emotionally, instantly capturing their attention before delivering a message that reinforces your shared values. Whether you are trying to calm down an upset friend, keep your boss from micromanaging you, or negotiate a high-stakes business deal, you have to get to know their specific pain points and personal drivers so you can speak in a language they inherently understand. Synthesizing this knowledge thread is absolutely critical to your personal growth, because mastering the art of influence allows you to stop fighting against the current of human nature and start navigating the emotional realities that dictate every decision we make. By transforming intense emotional resistance into joyful cooperation, you unlock the ability to get the absolute best out of others while allowing them to get the best out of you. But what happens when these exact same powerful tools of emotional connection and persuasion are weaponized against you by someone with dark intentions? As you integrate these profound lessons of influence into your daily life, you must also prepare to defend your psychological boundaries, which brings us to a chilling realization that we will unravel in the next part of our educational series, where we expose the dark side of emotional intelligence and how to protect yourself from manipulation.